Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today on the second episode of our series Backfrap MCP Deep Dive, we're going to download and run the front-end side of our project, so stay tuned. So straight to the point, we're going to download the code that we have for our user interface and run it locally. Once it's running locally, we're going to configure the Backfrap MCP to upload it to Backfrap. And we created this Backfrap repo with the user interface so you can get the code yourself and run it on your machine. This is an open repo, so you can just go there and clone it. The URL for it is in the description of this video. And we used an AI that's specialized on creating user interfaces to build this front end. And you can use anything that you want, but in order to follow, we assume that you already have that code in your GitHub account. So here on my GitHub repo, you have this green button, you can click it. And here on the GitHub CLI, you can copy this command. Now you have two options. You can run this command yourself, or you can ask the AI to run it for you. In my case, I'm using Cursor, so I'll let it run for me. So here on Cursor, I'm going to type in my desktop folder, please clone the following repo, and then paste that command in. Hit enter. And there we go. The command has run, and I now have that code into my machine. So let's just check if it is there. So cd mcp deep dive, and it is a Git project with all the files inside it. Now I can ask the LLM to run it locally for me as a test. So now please run that project locally. All right, it said it's spinned up a server, so we can just click one of these URLs and check if it worked. And there we go, our project is now running locally. It means we can now build it and ask the Backfrap MCP to send it to the Backfrap account into a Backfrap app. Now it is finally time for us to set our Backfrap MCP to interact with our Backfrap account. And on the first video, we set up a account key so we can use that information to connect the Backfrap MCP to our Backfrap account. If you don't remember or if you didn't take note of your Backfrap account key, it's very easy to get it back. So here I have my Backfrap account. All you have to do is to click this little drop down here and go to account keys. And here it is, my account key. I need to copy this value and set it in Cursor. So back in Cursor, I need to go to Cursor, Settings, and then Cursor Settings. And in here we have the MCP option. Right now I have my own MCP already set. If you don't, you need to click this button here, Add New Global MCP Server, and you end up in a configuration file that looks just like this. The format for this configuration file is also in the description of this video. And all the information that you need to set is your account key that goes right here. So mine is already correct and connected, so I don't have to change anything. But in your case, you probably will need to change the account key that you have so it will connect to your Backfrap account. Once you save this file, check if your MCP is enabled by this enable button. It should be green. And if it is connected by this little green LED that you have here. If it doesn't connect, check out if your account key is correct, if your configuration file is correct, and you can click this refresh button a few times until it connects. Once it's connected, you're good to go. Now that we already have the project running locally and the MCP set, it is time for us to create a distribution version of this code. The distribution version is nothing but the same development version that we already have without any breaking point and debugging information, so it runs faster on production environments. And the first step to do that is to open the project that we just cloned. So here in Cursor, I'm going to click Open Folder, and I'll go to my desktop and open my MCP Deep Dive folder. And here are all my files inside this project. And also I'll leave my terminal open. And I'm going to ask it to create a distribution package for this project. So please create a distribution package of this code into my dist folder. It seems to have finished. Now we can ask it to run this production version locally so we can test to see if everything went all right. Run it locally. And now if we just click this, there we go. It seems to be working fine. So we are ready for delivering this to Backwrap using the Backwrap MCP. Now that we finally have the project running locally in the Backwrap MCP configured, we can ask it to deploy the code to the Backwrap account. So we'll prompt it. Deliver the contents of my dist folder to my existing app named challenge in Backwrap. Excellent. It seems that everything has been deployed. We can now check those files and enable the web hosting in Backwrap so we can have access to our application. Back in my Backwrap account, we want to check if all files were deployed correctly. So I'm going to go to Cloud Code. And here inside the public folder, I can see my assets folder with a few assets inside, my 5icon.icon, which is an icon file, and my index.html, which seems quite correct. It is now time for us to set our URL so we can access this app. Mine is already set, but I'll guide you through those steps. So we can go to App Settings, Server Settings, and scroll down all the way to Web Hosting and Custom Domains. Click Settings. In here, you want to activate Backwrap hosting, which will be not checked in your case, so enable it. And this will give you a subdomain name, so you can try to use that domain to hit your application. It will try to suggest a name that works, but the thing is, this name must be unique among all the Backwrap apps. So chances are someone already took the words that you want. You need to try an experiment until you find one that is available. So my app is named Challenge. I tried Challenge, but it was already taken. So I had to use one challenge.b4a.app. Once you scroll down and click Save, you're good to go. Now it's time for us to test if that URL works. All that is left to do is to open a new tab and try to open this URL. Hopefully everything went right. So new tab and onechallenge.b4a.app, hit enter, and there you go. My application is fully running in Backwrap. So if you enjoyed this content, please leave a like on this video and consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss the next steps of this amazing tutorial that we're doing. Hope to see you back soon. Bye bye.